ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಳು
ಸ್ವಾತಿಯಿಂದ
ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಇಲ್ಲಂಚೂ ತಗೊಂಡ್
ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವತ್ತು ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಅವತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಅಂತ.
ಬರುತ್ತೆ
ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಆಚೆ ಈಚೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಕ ಪಕ್ಕ
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಪಕ್ಕ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಸೇರಿಲ್ಲ
the team member ಆಮೇಲೆ
how will you balance work in your organization ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, how will be the work life balance in the organization?
How will be the work life ಅದೊಂದೇ ನಂಗೆ ಬೇಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Any challenges you faced ಅಂತ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಲ್ಲ, any challenges you faced
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಟೀಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು.
ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಫೇಸ್ಡ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಅಂತ
ಇದು
ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ
ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನು
HR
ಹೇಳಲ್ವಾ?
HR ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Is it clear audio? Am I speaking with Shweta?
Yes, sir. Shweta.
Yeah,
Yes.
Shweta, I just dropped you a message.
Okay, sir.
I hope you received that, right? In the
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
yeah. I
Okay.
just
So, okay. So, I'm trying to join through my laptop, maybe 10 minutes, but meanwhile, we can get started, everybody. I want to see how many teams are ready with the role play today. We had a few of them who were missing last time. Are they all there today? Can I have some responses while I try to get onto the laptop and get my video on?
so me and Priya, we are ready for the room. Because actually me and Ashwin, we were supposed to do, but Ashwin is out of the office because of some work. Me and Priya, we have decided to.
Okay. And which are the other teams? Can we get a quick count of the teams that are going to be presenting today?
Yes, sir. I'll just ask them and let you know, sir.
I'm sorry, you messaged the teams, is it?
I'll let you
Hello?
know, sir. Once they reply,
Yeah, but what happened to all the teams? There were like 4 or 5 teams last time, those who were not present. We were expecting them to be there today.
Sir, yeah, Kavita is also ready.
Okay, so can we have the names of the teams that are going to be presenting in the chat box, please?
Okay, sir. Sure,
Like
sir.
team 1 and the 2 participants, each one individually, so that we get to know how many we're going to do today. Okay, I see only Afreen and team, only one team ready. I haven't seen any other names yet. So can that team get started? Can you give a background of what this situation is and what are you going to cover in the role play? Hello, was I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. So they are taking some time to reply.
Okay. No, we can have it in the audio. They can speak and tell me what is the background and what is the situation and how they are going to do the role.
Yes, sir. Me and Priya, we are ready, sir. Shweta and Priya.
Yeah, so can you explain the situation? What is the situation? What is the kind of company you're representing? Who's doing what? And a little background on the situation.
Sure, sir. So our company is Light and Sea Technologies Private Limited. So ours is an IT service and IT consultant company from over 7+ years. So today I will be the interviewer and Priya will be the interviewee, sir. And company size is around 200 employees. And the main headquarters is in Bangalore. and the branches are in Hyderabad and Chennai. And today we are looking out, like from my company, we got to know that Knowledge is conducting higher end training courses, that is AI with Python, AWS, and IoT and other training. So we have come here for a campus interviews. That is, we have already conducted aptitude tests. So we have 10 of them have cleared. So we'll be interviewing them, and four positions are four openings are there in our company, sir. So for that, Priya is one of the candidates.
Okay, so I understood you come for campus interviews, but what is the specific requirement? I mean, in the sense, since it's a 200 odd company, for
Yes.
which role are you hiring, and what was the need of that position?
Yes, I'll explain it. Sir, we are looking out for a junior software developer. Actually, we have a client, Aditya Birla Service. So they have many stores throughout India. So they have given us a project to build the software for their stores, their sales and all other purpose. And for them, there is a need of a renewal of the licenses for each store throughout India. So the data which has to be collected, like to renew that license, the data has to be collected, so and it has to be stored somewhere. So they have they have given us a project to build the software for that. So for that, we are looking out for a junior software developer.
All right, and what is the kind of profile you're looking for when you say junior software developer?
Yeah, so mainly we are looking for the candidates who are good in Python, because we have planned to build the software in Python. So we are looking for the candidates who are good at Python. So Python and database. And background in the sense, we are looking for the graduates, BE graduates, MCA graduates. We are.
What kind of experience are you looking for? Freshers or only
For a
or
fresh,
someone?
for a fresher. Actually, we have a team who there are developers, like senior developers and all. So we want junior software developers to assist them.
All right. So what about the student? Can the sorry, the candidate? Can the candidate explain this from their perspective?
Sir, yes, sir. Myself, Priya, sir. Have cleared the online test, aptitude test, and have
Yeah,
been
go ahead.
selected the technical round, second round, sir.
Yeah. So what do you know about this company? What is your aspiration? Why do you want to join this company? Can
Sir,
you throw
it's
some
a
light?
mainly a service-based company, sir. They're mainly into developing. Since I'm a fresher, I'll get a chance to work with a company, sir. It's a well-established company. It has a size of 200 members. So,
Okay, you are an L2, I'm assuming.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So without disclosing to each other, can you send me a direct message as to what is your salary expectation, and the other one, the company person should send me what is it that they're planning to offer.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So Priya will be sending through this portal. I will be sending to the WhatsApp. Is that okay, sir?
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. All right. So can we get started with this one?
Yes, sir.
So, by the way, I also want to know, reconfirm. Can one of you reconfirm the rules of the game? You know what needs to be done, right? So, can you reaffirm the rules of the game?
Yeah, the interview process should be for 20 minutes.
Okay. What else? Yeah, primarily it should be for around 20-30 minutes. You should go on for 20-30 minutes. And what is the area of discussion that you're going to have? Hello? No, I mean to say, what is the area that you're going to talk about? What is the company doing, and how will you highlight? Is it specifically pertaining to any particular technology, or is it overall in general? You're trying to look at some developers in the spaces?
I'll be asking the general questions and the technical questions both.
Okay, all right. Please go ahead. Yeah, please get started.
Hi, I'm Shweta.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, I just have your resume. So can you brief about yourself?
Sure, ma'am. My name is Priya. I'm from Bangalore. I'm currently pursuing my BE in Computer Science and Engineering, and I'm also doing a course AI with Python certification in Kionics X. My skills are C, C++, Java, and now I've joined Python. So Python is also one of my skills.
Okay. Then I see that you were consistently very good in your PU and in your schoolings, but why in the engineering your percentage has got reduced?
Ma'am, mainly I was concentrating to become an employee. So I concentrated more on the practicals part. So
Okay.
So now I'll concentrate on the academics also, ma'am. I'm trying to concentrate on the academics also.
Okay. So why have you joined this course?
Because Python, my course is AI with Python. Python has the more job opportunities nowadays, and the leading industries like Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, they're all using Python as the main programming language. So it gives more weightage to my profile. So I chose this course.
Okay, so you have chosen this course.
Yes, ma'am.
So have you done any projects in your academics or in your course?
Yes, ma'am. Our main project is hospital management system.
Okay. So can you explain me about your project?
Sure, ma'am. Hospitals currently use manual systems to manage and maintain their information. And there is a paper method system.
Okay.
The manual workers are more in the current system. So this hospital management systems, they controls the patient information and doctor's info, the patient reports and their invoices, and the appointment schedules. These are all will be controlled by this hospital management system. This is mainly on desktop application now.
It's a desktop. So can this be implemented even in the clinics?
Sure, ma'am. We can implement, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. What are the softwares you have used here?
To develop a front end, we had used Python framework, and for the back end, we had used SQL database.
So you have used Python in this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How strong are you in Python?
Yeah, ma'am.
How do you
I'm
rate
good at
yourself?
Python. Yeah. I'm
Out of
good at
10?
8, ma'am.
8.
Hmm.
Okay. So if I ask you to write a program for factorial, so will you write it?
Sure, ma'am. I'll write it.
Okay. You can write the program. So here you have used the function. So what is the function you have used, and can you explain?
It's
Got that.
mainly about the recursive function, ma'am. Recursive function means functions which calls itself. It's keep on calling until we get the output. We have two cases. One is the base case and the recursive case. Base case, it's used to terminate the function, and the recursive is to call the function. It's
So-
mainly about the recursive function.
Okay, so here you need to terminate the function as well as the recursive has to happen for a
Yes.
factorial.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then what are the data types you have used here?
Integer, ma'am.
Integer.
Integer data type.
So can you explain what is data type?
A data type, it's a building block of any programming language. We have around 6 to 7 data types: integer, float, complex, list, tuples, dictionary, sets. These are all the Python data types.
What are list?
List, it's an ordered array which are mutable and which can contain a duplicate entries.
Okay, can you explain me the difference between list and array?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. List and array, they both store the data in the same way, but array store the data of the same data types, but list stores the data of different data types, ma'am.
What about tuple?
Tuple, which are unmutable, ma'am.
What do you mean by unmutable?
The data, once we define, no, we can't change the data. They are fixed. We can't change the data. They are
Okay.
unmutable.
What about dictionary?
Dictionary, the data can be mutable. It's a key value pair. Using key value, we can access the data of dictionaries.
So can you explain me more about key value pair?
Key value pair means in list and tuples, we have index value reference. But in dictionary, using a key value, we can access the particular value given to that key value.
Okay. Then data types. Okay, data. Then what about SQL? So how strong are you in SQL?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm good at SQL. Ma'am.
So
We used SQL for the backend, ma'am.
okay, for the backend you have used SQL. So what is SQL?
It's a structured query language. We can access and manipulate the database using this SQL, ma'am.
Okay.
And we can create the data, and we can remove the data. We can insert, update the data. We can create new database also using a commands like select, where, from, update, insert. These commands will be used by the SQL.
Okay, I'll just give you a scenario
Okay.
where I have two tables. One is table 1 and one more. We'll name that as table 1 and table 2.
Okay.
So in table 1, I have 50 records.
Okay.
In table 2, I have 70 records. So I want to write a query such that the similar records has to be displayed.
Okay.
So can you write a query for that? And what is that you'll use to write that query?
Okay, ma'am. We had used in our hospital management also, ma'am, to get the patient data, those who have the similar names. For that, we had used, ma'am. I'll write down the top.
Okay.
Using an inner join keyword, we can do this, ma'am.
Okay. Can you explain me what are inner joins?
Inner joins keywords, they returns the records of same variable, same types, same values.
Let me just go through this. Okay. Instead of inner joins, can we use a right join or a left join?
No, ma'am. Using right join, we can only get the data of the right table, which are matching with the left table.
Okay.
So we can only do with the inner join.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So only through inner joins you'll be able to write a query for that. Are you sure of that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure.
Okay. So then, have you attended any other interviews, Priya, before this?
No, ma'am. This is my first interview.
Okay. So this is
Still, I'm pursuing my degree. This is my first interview, ma'am.
This is your first interview.
Yeah.
So how many teams were there when you were doing your project?
Ma'am, we are a team of 4.
Okay, we're a team of 4.
Yeah.
So have you faced any challenges with any of the team member?
Yes, ma'am, we had tough member because she was irregular and she was not more into the project, ma'am. To get the data from her, it was more difficult for us, ma'am.
How did you cope up with it?
Ma'am, we motivated her to give the data and we motivated her in many ways, ma'am. And also we 3 of us, we shared the work of her and we did it, ma'am.
Okay, you have done. So you think you are a very good team member?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a good team member.
Okay.
I
So
was leading the team.
you were leading the team. So which part of the project you are in?
Ma'am, I was mainly into a coding, ma'am, because I want to become a developer. So I
Okay.
was mainly into a coding, ma'am.
Okay. So what if you get an opportunity to work as a tester?
Tester, no, ma'am. I'll work as a developer only, ma'am. I'll search for the jobs and I'll work.
Okay. So what is your expectation?
It's 4 to 5 lakhs per annum, ma'am.
Okay. So what will you do if you get a better opportunity than this?
I'll join that company.
Okay, then you don't want to be a part of this, is it?
Not sure, ma'am. If this company offers me good facilitation.
Okay. Say, I'll just tell you that here you have a good opportunity to learn, but in the other companies, you have a specific domain where you'll be working only on that domain. Here you have a better, I'm just giving you an example. So which one do you choose? Here the package would be, like I'll just give you the example of 3.5, there it would be 4. There is no much difference financially, but still the opportunity here would be best. Which one would you choose?
I'll choose the best one only, where I can learn more things, no, ma'am.
Which one you would decide that is the best one?
Where I can learn more things.
Okay, you would prefer a company? Which
There,
company?
I mean, now I'm attending your company. If you are offering a best job to learn more, and if my career's growth will be more, then I'll choose this company only.
Okay. So do you have any questions for me?
Yes, ma'am, I have. I will be the work-life balance in your organization, ma'am.
Yeah. As you are a fresher, I would suggest you to experience a work life first. Yeah, us as an employee-centric organization, yes, our clients and deadlines are very, very important to us, but still we are an employee-centric organization. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have anything to ask?
No.
So if you are through, we'll intimate you through the mail within a week's time.
Sure.
That was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So
Are we done?
yes, sir.
Okay. Can I get your names once again? I'm sorry. Who was the person who was interviewing?
Shweta, sir.
Shweta. And the other lady?
Priya, sir.
Priya, right? Okay.
Going on?
Yes, sir.
Good. Done, madam?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We did it. The role
No,
play.
that I'll have to do it, sir. I'll do it.
Then in that case, you give me
After
tomorrow.
this, I'll. This has to.
Yeah. So what are your, hello, sir. How are you, sir?
I said, hi, Anil, I'm making a move. So I won't be a part of this session. I'm leaving for Calcutta. So, for my conference. So I'll be back now on 26th. So wish you all the best. And I think you are doing the evaluation. So I will take the evaluation from you on 27th. And see you now in batch 2.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we had a quick and short one. It wasn't a very long one. So both of you are N2s, right? By the way?
Yes.
Okay. So was this prepared or was this like impromptu today?
No, sir. We were prepared, sir. We prepared.
Had you prepared for certain questions, like for instance, Priya, I mean, I'll get into the details, but were you prepared to ask certain questions intentionally to make some mistakes, or that was the way you would have been? How was it? I mean, my question is basically, since this is also a training for the students, it's not only an evaluation of L2s, it is primarily meant to train the students who are, probably looking for opportunities in the IT industry and similar industries. So did you ask some questions, either of you, or did you answer some of those questions intentionally to highlight some of the mistakes, or this was, this is how you would actually do an interview? Am I
No, so
clear?
intentionally we took some questions so that the students can understand from it.
Okay, for example, which question is that?
For example, this work-life balance. And
Exactly. So that is one question. So was that a question you would have genuinely asked if you were there for an interview, or what do you think? Is it a good question to ask?
No, sir, because I would have not asked.
Okay.
So
Okay, understood. So then in that case, yeah, I mean, because I was kind of a little taken aback with some of those questions, like work-life balance and all that. So we'll come to that. So what would you do, Shweta? Would you hire Priya for this role?
sir, I'll check with the other candidates as well, so and then decide on.
No, but is she even in the shortlist? How did you find her technically?
Technically, I feel she's okay. And these things, I think we can train her and put onto the on-roll project. She is eligible to get trained. Like I like the confidence. So where I can train her and then take into the roles job.
Okay. What about you, Priya? Would you join this company or would you not join this company?
If they offers job, then I'll definitely join.
I'm sorry?
They offer me a job.
Yeah, obviously, if they offer you a job, will you join this company? What was your evaluation of the company?
I will.
Okay, and what is your expectation, salary expectation? I didn't see a, what was your salary expectation? I know you did not ask for that, but can you chat? I didn't get the WhatsApp message either. Let me just check once again. Yeah, I got it from Shweta, but can you type directly, Priya? Can you just send a direct message to me? Yeah, without letting Shweta know. But I'm assuming you both have already discussed all this. But what was in your mind when you were planning to ask for a salary?
I've sent you all the messages.
No one knows.
Yeah.
No, put it off. Put it off. Kavita, put it off.
Yeah, you can just type it in the chat box. Send a direct message to me. Okay, got it. All right. So, so now we'll take a poll from the students and the other individuals who are present today. What is the rating of this interview that we had, the role play that we had? Can we all just give a voting for them in the chat box? Like every time, I expect you all to give me a rating. There are quite a few students and L2s. Kindly please, send in your responses. By now, you should have been prepared for this question, right? I mean, I should have expected already some 10 or 15 odd responses. I still haven't got even one. What happened to everybody? Saujanya, everybody is there, all the L2s as well as the students. Please
Sorry,
send me your rating.
for me it says chat disabled. I guess is that the
Chat
same for
disabled.
others? Yeah, at least for me it says that.
Me also,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
Short is disabled.
Now we get it. Yep, we got it.
Okay.
Same with me also, sir, so not able to chat.
Yeah, they just enabled it.
Yeah, got it, Avinash.
Okay, I believe there is a glitch in the chat enablement, but I believe it has been enabled again. So everybody can everybody just drop in their rating for this interview? But it did not go on for 30 minutes. It went on for a short duration. Okay, that we will see. So we have 8, 7.5 and 7, all from L2s only. What about the students? Students, again, once again, you have to participate. Otherwise, there's absolutely no point doing these sessions. You have to be, either you feel it is good or you don't feel it is good. It's your time to learn so that you can actually, when you put in the water, you can swim, right? So this is a practice thing with some little bit of shallow water. But when you're actually in the river or the pond or whatever, how will you swim if you don't practice? Okay, I want some more ratings, please. I have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happened to this girl was there? No? Jyoti and Tina. I think they're all not there.
I think Jyoti is not in the center, sir. Maybe she's in college.
Okay. But what is the intention of doing this interview? It's not for my benefit. I'm not honing my skills as such here. And if it is only for L2 evaluation, yes, maybe we can do it. But I believe that it is actually primarily for the benefit of students. And I'm assuming, I think they're all just thinking that they can actually look at the recording and learn from it and stuff like that. Since anyway, they don't have to participate. So if that is the case, I don't think it's a very good attitude.
Sir, actually, sorry to interfere, but the thing is, like, most of them are in colleges at this time, sir, so they'll not be able to join online. Or some of the people who have enrolled to my course, they're even working, so they'll not be able to join. Few of them have joined online, sir, but rest of them,
but who are those few? There is not even a few, no? I only saw Dharmarao.
Dharmarao, Pooja and Vinod are there, sir. The other three from my batch, they're in college. Neha, Shweta are in college. Ajit is in office, sir.
Okay, that is fine. But absolutely no students is also, I see only 2 students responding. Halima and not only your center, in general, I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah, so at least see there is how many students are there across the centers altogether? Across the centers, roughly how many students will be there?
It's 140, I think, sir. Shweta, can you reconfirm?
So even if it is 140, okay, let's not, even if it is 100, even if it is 100, if all 100 are not available, then what is the point of doing this? That is my question. Even if it is 100, let me be even, let's just take 100, not even 140 and all of that. Even if it is 100, of the 100, okay, 50 are in, let's assume even 50 are in college. And the other 50, they can't really join. Either I have to be told that, yes, this time doesn't work at all. Give us some other slot. Or if they are okay with it and they have accepted the schedule, they should let me know, they should come and participate. So only 2 out of 140 students have responded. So, and I'm supposed to take it that the rest of them are all busy in college or something else. So that is something that I'm not able to digest. Okay, and how many L2s? So if this time is not suitable for the L2s, they can also tell me. I mean, tell me through them, through the organizing team, that this time doesn't work. Can we have another slot? Or so which time is preferable? Is evening slot preferable after 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something? Is that a better time for everybody?
Yes, sir. This is Altaf here too again.
Yeah, Taf, good to see you.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Exact starting 2 o'clock is a bit
Okay,
difficult
it's a
for me to
challenge.
join the exact two.
Okay,
But after
okay.
2:33 for me, it's okay, because the exact two or something it is difficult. So otherwise,
Okay,
I'm okay with this one.
okay,
And
but
also
in
the
general,
morning sessions is difficult, sir.
that's why I've never kept it in the mornings. I only kept it one day in the morning, and I was told that it's not working.
I was having,
So I've shifted to the afternoon. So I shifted
yes,
to
sir.
the
The morning
afternoon.
session is difficult. Morning shift is difficult for the working professionals. Like anyhow, morning stand-ups will be there. For the L2s I'm talking about.
Understood. So that is why I kept it in the afternoon.
Second,
But can we keep it after 6 o'clock, after 7 o'clock then, in that case?
Sir, in that case, no, sir. For L2s, I think it is fine, because we ourselves will be busy till 11 in the night, because we'll have calls and all, daily stand-ups, everything, because of the
So,
UK shift. So it's okay for us, because sometimes we may not be joining through video. That is why we'll keep our video off. But
okay.
looking into students' perspective, I think evening 5 would be a great option, because here and there 15 minutes they might run late, but still. Because I have some students who come from a far place, so for them to travel back, 6:30 is the last bus, sir. So if they miss that out, they'll not be able to
So,
go. So
so how do I accommodate everybody? I can't
that
accommodate everybody.
same with us also, sir. That is what happening. So 5 would be very preferable, I think so. I mean, we are
5
discussing the
to
same.
5
5 to
to
8, anything
start
is
of
fine,
5,
sir.
Saujanya ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. Is
Yeah,
it 5 starting you are telling, or
starting. That's
start
what
to
she said.
5, sir. Yeah,
Yeah,
starting is fine, sir.
the
but
sessions
the
will go
students
only
have
for
to
1.5
be.
hours? No? So
No, no, no.
6:30,
I
then there will
mean,
be only one
no,
and a
no.
half
I'm
hours.
not asking sir to wind up by 6:30, but at least students who can finish by 6:30, they can, at least we can ask them to finish by that time and then leave, so that the others, rest of them can continue. No, sir. So like
Okay,
those
so
who don't have emergency. Yeah.
so let's know. I don't want to get into the logistics, because looks like there are a lot of people, and
Yes.
looks like everybody can't be accommodated every time. So I will keep. So maybe what I can do is I will keep this, from 2 onwards till whatever time, or a little bit here and there I can do. And whoever can come in, at least they join in for that 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever. So I leave it to the organizing, because it's looking like neither evening is good, nor is morning good, nor is afternoon good. Midnight, maybe everybody when they're in the house, we can do it, or I don't know. So
No,
anyway.
on the lighter note, Anil sir, L2s are okay for midnight. Like there will be no calls,
No,
no
that
stand-ups in
was.
midnight. No, just putting on a lighter note on that one.
Okay, all right. So what I'm because this is something which is not getting solved. Every time I can't ask, will you join, will you not join? Maybe from next time I should at least there should be a commitment of who's joining and who's not joining, so we know what we can expect during the session. So let's say there were 5 or 6 or 7, 8 teams of L2s. At least I should know if the other teams, which are the teams which are joining the next time and which are not joining. Because I understand you respect the schedule of other things like your office or whatever, but if you can't respect this also equally, if you're not there, tell me you're not there. If you're going to be there, you have to block your time for it. And if you're going to come for this, then I will be also prepared, right? And then today there aren't any students, and videos are not on. It's quite disheartening actually, because really speaking, it's not for my benefit. This is not for my benefit. Okay, so that's all. I mean, I can come do my sessions, whatever time I have given. I can just do the sessions and present it. It's up to the audience to accept it and take the best out of it. If they are present, if they are not, then they may want to look at the recordings. I also know nowadays, because there are a lot of online things, people believe that, since recordings are available, we can always go back and watch them. But believe you me, that never happens. We never go back. How many of you have actually gone back to the recordings and seen these recordings so far?
Seriously, not me. As an
Okay.
L2, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
We would have attended most of the sessions, sir.
Yes,
Not
yes,
missed
yes,
any
yes.
though.
So
So students, yeah.
99% would have attended.
anyone in the whole batch right now, whoever is present, has gone back and looked at the recordings
My
completely?
students, yes, sir, because every time you ask for a recap, so what was conversed in the last session, so before coming in hand, like they will definitely watch it and then come, because at least to answer your question.
To answer, yeah, just for recap, just to pick up
Yes, sir.
the key points and then just to blurt it out here.
Yes,
But
sir,
that
that
is
I've
not.
seen from my
But that is
students.
not. But that is not the intent. It is
No,
not
no,
for
not for the
me.
intention, but I mean, if they've watched, to make sure that they've watched, that is what even I try to ask them, like before in hand.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
what I mean to just be prepared, to make sure that
Okay.
they're prepared for the session.
Okay, fine. That's better than not watching it at all, right? So
Yes, sir. Alternative for me too.
okay, so what do we do? So today, anyway, so we will try to sort this out, because there is another. I mean, it's looking like it's going to go on for a bit of a few more weeks and all of that. So I don't want this to be a repetition every week, like, who's there, who's not there, how many will come. And I was thinking last time there'll be at least L2s. There are 8 teams. We'll have good 2 to 3 sessions. Role plays, and this time we'll have another 3 good ones. But looks like today again it is just one role play. So fine. I mean, fair enough. I have no objection. I mean, I can do with that. But are you even learning anything? Is my worry. Is anybody even getting anything out of this? Okay, so coming back to today's thing, so the rating, this all started with the rating, right? So when I asked for the rating, there was some, okay, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Okay, so there are, all of them have rated them 7 out of 5. Okay, instead of rating, now I'll ask you, what were the awkward situations in the role play? Can someone come up with what did you find awkward in the whole role play? So we're all watching this with a critical eye, right? We're trying to see, okay, that's not the best way to do it, but at least in this session, because we're trying to see what mistakes to avoid and what not to do and what should be done. So can we just find out, I mean, I want to understand from all of you, what were the mistakes or what was something that was awkward in the interview?
Not to identify in particular, but things what I thought was Priya should have had a proper positioning while sitting, not to revolve her chair around like that in front of an interviewer. That which makes a very bad impression. Even though when I am doing so, I would not personally take it, because feels like a lot of attitude in the sense.
Okay, I did not really observe that, but if you have, yeah, I mean, I think it's a valid point. Your sitting posture and all that is all basic. I mean, beyond the topic, but yeah, how you present yourself. I did not really
Yeah,
notice that.
just not to be offending. I mean, I'm just
No,
trying
no,
to
yeah,
tell,
it's all,
because
we're all
yeah,
learning. Yeah, we're all learning. So yeah, so
students
there's
are
no,
also there, no, so that's
correct,
just
correct,
observed.
correct. Okay, what else? Maybe that was an intentional part from Priya's side, as they were trying to do some intentional mistakes, like I asked them, right? Okay, what else? Anything else which is amiss?
What I felt was, where Shweta asked for the expectation of the candidate, because given the fact that this is just a second round, and based on her position, because she's not a HR, so usually we don't talk about numbers there. And also, she went on asking whether you'll join the company. That's where Priya said, "Okay, I will join this company for the very first time." Then she said, "Okay, why you are gonna join?" And she said, "If you are gonna pay me well, I'll join this." Then when Shweta told her that, okay, we are going to offer you, for example, we are going to offer you a lesser package, but you might get to learn a lot from this company. That's when she changed her answer, saying that if given a choice between 2 companies, one which pays me better and one, where I could compromise on the package, but still I get to learn. So that's where she changed her answer. So that I felt, shouldn't be the case. We should always stick on to one
Okay.
point.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that whole bit about will you join, will you not join was a little funny, I felt. Both sides, not just from Priya's side, but from Shweta's side as well. Expectation, yeah, so this is not the place where you discuss salary, that interview per se. And the way it was going, okay, we'll give you, if it was a trick question really to corner the student and or the candidate and try to find something really genuinely, something which is something she wanted to assess. But if it was not that, it was looking very unprofessional in terms of the discussion. Okay, so that's what I felt. I also realized, and then that to and fro, will you join, will you not join, and how she responded was, you should stick to it. Personally, I feel when you are in an interview for that organization, with the organization, you should always make it a positive point to say that, give them reasons why you will join the company. Give them reasons why, whether you join or not is your decision after you get the offer and after all evaluation later on. But in the place when you're actually there in front of them, you should give them reasons why you could join them. And that's to everybody. Yeah, thank you, Abhilash. Who else? Who else wanted to share something? Altaf, you wanted to say something? I see you. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I was on. No, so this whole interview went on good, and this one. The thing is, the interviewer like asking more of the technical questions, and it was going on for more technical. But when it come for the administration or the HR round, it was not that good as how it went on technical. That's what I observed on from the interviewer point of thing. And also the interviewee.
So one correction there, Altaf. One correction there. Sorry to interrupt. The whole interview is supposed to be one. I did not expect the role play to, roll in multiple things into one interview. This interview either could be a technical or a HR, whatever you have to decide. The person, the candidate, the team has to decide what is that special discussion they're going to have for half an hour. Right?
Correct.
So,
This happened. This happened. Glenn, so sorry to interrupt again to you. So what I was trying to tell is, whenever the technical questions were going on, it's all going on smooth. But when it come for the administration or the HR part, that part was not good. That's what I was trying to put across.
So my point is that part was not even required. We don't need that. No, either you do an HR round, or the same person can't be doing all three. No, the same interview you will have 3 rounds, or at least two to 3 rounds you will have in a job selection process. So I'm saying this role play is supposed to cover only one, where you discuss the details of a technology or a cutting edge area where you're trying to evaluate the candidate on that. By the way, you can ask, maybe you can ask about their expectations. See, sometimes when there are, senior managers sitting in the room and they really like the candidate, they may want to ask what is their expectation, and they will pass that information to the HR, but they are not taking the decision there and then and evaluating them on the salary part as such. That is the HR's role, right? So this role play is meant to cover only primarily the technical or the concept, the topic of discussion, whether it is IoT or what is it that the candidate is being hired for. Okay, primarily that. Like we had the interview last time between Abhilash and Saujanya, where they were, yeah. So when he ended, he said, "We will get back to you," and then I told them they may want to do the role play with the operational and the HR part or whatever other things whenever they're prepared. So that is the expectation, not that you roll in all the things into one interview and then, because then that is not real. It's not a role play. We are again trying an artificial thing. Okay. All right. Thank you, Altaf. Anything else you wanted to say?
Yes, regarding my the interview happened last week with me and Sahib Mirzi. So you gave few feedbacks on that one. So I would like to again add few more things on that. What happened is, like, I don't want to be happen that interview on the perfect note. So yeah, I do admit there are few the words which I have uttered was the wrong one. But a few questions which I have asked and I don't want to answer is the one which I actually want to do, which I already told. And the second thing is like when it came for a salary discussion, it was all like surprise questions. So whenever the question comes, I was countering to that questions. And now today I'm asking you, when it came, I hope you could recollect like what happened. He was like sticking for the same one X figure, and I was like telling that I would be coming for the negotiation, and he was, again the employer was, I mean Tahir was like telling that I'll be giving only the 15,000 or something. Then I was like telling, no, I do have certain the advantages which I have learned in college, and I know these particular technologies. So is this the right way to put across? This is what I want to ask you.
Okay, so yeah, I think I forgot to answer your question the last time. Two questions. The second one you asked now. The first one was the question about if I make a mistake, right? And what was that question, Altaf? You said you made a mistake. Your point was your point.
With a limited knowledge, I will answer.
No. I think your question was, if you don't know something, is it a good idea to say that I don't know it? I mean, that's one question you had last time. If
yes.
I'm not, yeah, so I'll answer that. Yes, so if you don't know, if it's a technical area, and if you're okay, as a candidate, if you're going well prepared for that interview, and let's say you're supposed to be knowledgeable about 10 different things, 10 different concepts or something, and by chance you have not picked up something on the 8th and the 9th or the 9th and the 10th concept, but you're very well prepared with the other concepts. And unluckily, if they ask you that specific area which you're not well prepared with, if you're completely blank with it, it is okay to say that you don't know about it, because, and substantiate that with the response saying that because my area of expertise is the other one too. You can pick up whatever your area of expertise is, but then be prepared to answer. So what are you doing? You're primarily guiding the interviewer to ask you questions in your area of expertise, Unfortunately, if they ask you that very question that you're not prepared with, it is okay, because you can't faff around. You can't say that, yes, I know, and then give a wrong answer. You look even worse. Yes, I mean, it's not a good idea to, if you can make good guesses about certain things, it is okay. If you really, and how will you make a good guess? Only if you've read about it, only if you have some idea about it. If you have absolutely no idea, there is no other choice.
Yes, absolutely no idea, then you should not go
there's no other idea. But don't just say, I don't know, but you can always steer the conversation to the areas that you are good at. Right? You can even connect it to the organization. You can say that, however, because my area of expertise is A, B, and C, which is where your organization is also leading the industry, something like that, which then again connects your area of interest with the organization and the role that you're trying to apply for. Then the person feels, okay, so let me ask him about those areas. But then those areas you should be confident and comfortable answering it. Okay, so that's how you can address that. And does that clarify?
The other thing which I want to ask is, like, when at the end of the thing, in my role play, Tahir was asking like what is the expected salary, and that discussion went on for 2-3 minutes or 4 minutes, I believe. Okay. The last part. So the thing is, like, as an the person is offering for an X amount, and I have requested for one Z amount. I don't want to come. I want to come and settle for an amount Y, which is like win-win situation. This is what I was expecting to do it. But when the employee is not coming to negotiate at all, then how to proceed, or what is the things which you should
Okay, first of all, I found that situation a little artificial, because usually it will not be like that. The person, if it is a company like that where only one person is deciding everything, the role, the salary, then first of all, it's a very small organization. Ideally, I wouldn't want to join some organization like that, right? I mean, I don't want to be everything is the whims and fancies of one person, so that is not ideally the place you would want. You want a little more structured, organized place. So that is exactly what I said. This round, was it a technical or I know, was it a round with the team that you're going to work with, or was it an HR round? Usually the HR, if it is a professional organization, even if it is a startup, they will always say, we will get back to you with the thing, and then there will be a discussion with the HR person, even if it is just one person, right? They will send you an offer. They will send you an offer. You have to evaluate that, and then they will set up a call, and then you need to discuss that, right? It can't be a haggling on the interview space, him telling, it's like, it's not, you're not
It
buying
can be a
vegetables.
bargain over on the
Absolutely,
table.
absolutely.
It can be a bargain on the table.
Both parties have to respect the space that you're getting into, right? He or she is bringing something to the organization. That person is also offering something, an opportunity. So usually that's not how it is done. So that was really not right. It was not the right role play. That part is what my thinking is. Then the next point is, if the HR comes with a figure and then you're not comfortable with it, if you've decided that you don't want to join for that figure and they are not going to pay you anything more than what they have offered, then obviously you either join or no. So you don't have any choice. You can only negotiate to a certain extent. And that's a different topic. How do you negotiate salaries and all of that? So we can do that maybe in another instance. But this session was primarily to highlight the role plays around the concepts, the topics that they have learned, the students. I believe they've learned things around IoT, cybersecurity, and smart cities, and all of those things. All of those things. So how are you going to answer those questions? That is what this role play is about primarily. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Okay. What is your third question? You had another question, I think.
That's what the negotiation skill, which the thing is, like, I want to come for an settling of Y for one Y amount. So when the employer is telling, then I have to put on my strengths for telling that these are the capabilities which I do have. So you can go ahead and pay me the amount what I'm asking for.
So usually, given the current situation, usually if it's an organization which is working professionally, there will be a bucket for each role. There will be certain range which they can offer.
Yes.
Right. Correct. So if you go out of that range and demand that, especially for freshers, I mean, this role is for freshers, right? I mean, we're trying to do these role plays for freshers. If they're doing these role plays, if it's for freshers, you can't you can't go beyond that range and then expect something from there, right? So that you have to bear in mind. You can't, every organization will have a standard, range, a package. And if it is an industry standard, which you would have done based on your research, you can ask for what is the industry standard for your kind of a role. But if you want really something much, much bigger than that, then that's going to be difficult to negotiate. I mean, given your question, I'm answering.
In the bucket, yes. Yeah, that's what. So nobody will be that for one particular static point. They will be moving here and there at least a bit. So what you told is a bucket. You have a figure from.
So you have to assess that organization. You have to assess what is the industry standard for your particular role, and what is the standard. Is this a good? Is this organization that you're getting into? Are they going to be able to pay that much? You will need to do that assessment and homework, and you need to be realistic in your expectation of your salary from that organization, whichever organization.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And if it is not reaching that place, either you join it with the salary that you want, or you find something which you are, wanting to find, and then you can evaluate it and choose. Right? Okay. And you can also.
You can hear, sir.
Okay, no, and there are a few other things that you can also ask. You can actually, if salary is the only thing that is stopping you, everything else you love love about the role and the opportunity and all that, maybe you can look at asking for some other things to compensate for the lesser salary that you probably will be getting there. But that's a whole different area of discussion. We can do that topic to discuss. We will do that later.
That's what I've.
Okay.
So one of this session, I request you to have how we are the role play for L2 is happening. So we can have only the L2s or something where we can have a Q&A thing. For example, like if anyone is like underpaid and he want to switch over for another company, or how to negotiate for a industry standard thing. So if we could know how to do that, that'd be much better, I believe. One of the scenarios I'm telling you.
Okay, maybe we can do it somewhere.
Maybe
Outside
sometime
of
later,
this.
not in this session, because now this is for the students we are doing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
from L2 also we can have something. That's what my
Okay, because that may not be relevant for all these students.
For the
right?
freshers, yeah, for the students.
Yeah. All right. Any other? Okay, so I've seen these ratings now. Altaf, how much have you rated them? 8 out of 10.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not too sure if I would rate them so much. So they made some, intentional things like work-life balance. Okay, now let's get to the actual interview that we had between Shweta and Priya. So initial sections where they were asking about technical questions and she was trying to write something down, and I'm assuming all that was correct, whatever she answered according to that technical space, and then she was able to demonstrate her expertise by writing down whatever she was writing down, some algorithm or something she was doing. But towards the end, when they came, this role was primarily as a developer with some expertise in Python and all of that. So that's a very, very technical space. This role play did not highlight anything about the concept, the digital technologies that you have learned in the previous sessions from the other experts. This role play did not highlight any of that. For that matter, even Abhilash's and Saujany's interview also did not highlight any interesting discussion about a particular topic, let's say smart cities or IoT or digital marketing, automation, or any of those. So I would want to see some role plays which can become exciting in that space. Your role play, Altaf and Tahir, was talking about those IoT equipments, right? So that was interesting. The topic was very interesting, and I think there was some level of interest, but the enactment of that whole thing didn't go so well. But the topic was interesting. I wanted those kind of role plays where you are it's so I understand Abhilash's and Saujanya's role play was about a general role, a little bit of getting a role, a person who will do this, and then a little more run-of-the-mill kind of a role, not really you're not trying to really test the person's passion in a particular area. That is not something you were doing, right? So maybe the other role plays we can have like that, a few of them. Take up those concepts. What are we doing here? We're trying to teach the students, your students, how can they excite the person by talking about those areas. What is the concepts? So if there are 10 different things they've learned, can they take up one of those which they like, and can they talk for half an hour around that topic with the interviewer? Can they excite? Technology. So on that note, even today's interview that we had, it was more of, okay, do you know Python? Can you do this? Can you write this algorithm? I can show this algorithm. Okay, and then there were some questions about team player. Are you a good team player? Yes, I'm a good team player. It wasn't coming very, it was looking very, there wasn't a passion. There wasn't a, this, how were you a good team player? What happened? Okay, what were the problems? The problem was we had a person who was not delivering, so it was a big challenge. So these are all very, very day-to-day kind of challenges. Right, bring out something which is a challenge, which is very, very unique, so let's say you say there was a very interesting project. We got a project and we were all stuck because it was a really new area of development, but we were able to crack that because of our expertise as a team. We all did something together. We all learned some things in the process and then demonstrated our expertise. Now, if you talk about versus if you say, okay, there was one team player who was not very active and I had to coax them, it's a very not such an important problem that we have solved, right? It's okay, given that, okay, this is also one expertise, you were able to address that issue, But is that really an exciting thing to discuss during an interview? Right? It could be one of the challenges, maybe, as a team player, what you did. So who was that? Priya. Priya, can you come up on screen? Can I just discuss that a little bit? Yeah, Priya. So what was the challenge thing you were discussing? What was the question and how did you answer that question? Can we just do a replay of that? Priya and Shweta, or either one.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that question?
What are the challenges you face with your team member?
With your, so you specifically asked what are the challenges you faced with your team member. Was that your question? Or okay.
And they were working in the team.
No, I think even before that, your question was, what were your challenges as part of, did you face any challenges? Then she said, I have faced challenges with my team. Right?
Yes, sir.
And then you said, what are the challenges? Then she brought it down to what was the challenge that you were facing, Priya?
One of the team member was not regular and she was not giving the inputs data for the project.
Yeah. But is that not so? Yeah, so you were given an opportunity to talk about a very big challenge. Think about a big challenge, right? You're talking about different technologies. We're talking about one of the interesting challenges could be this technology. This area is a new and upcoming area in the world today, and nobody knows anything about it. And we were able to do, we were able to do something in that specific area, and in the process of doing this project, we have become so much more knowledgeable in that area, right? Let's say it is about IoT or smart cities in some specific domain, or drone area, whatever. Take up something like that. You've brought down that question from that level to a level of someone is not coming every day, they don't come, they don't catch the bus every day. It is such a mundane problem, it is such a mundane issue, isn't it? Do you agree or not? You agree, right?
Yes.
You're bringing the discussion from a high level of intellectual discussion about a topic, about not even intellectual, cutting edge discussion. I don't want to use the word intellectual, but cutting edge technology and all of that. So much exciting, so many exciting things are happening in this space, right? Why don't you talk about those things? Why do you want to talk about someone was not coming regularly, someone was complaining? This is a regular problem since time immemorial. People have been having these problems in teams and all of that, right? So while it is a good problem to solve, I understand those are all issues, but try to keep the conversation at that level. That is my point. Okay. Anyone has to say anything about this? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Did you understand what I'm trying to communicate? Did you understand what I'm trying to communicate? So for instance, if every other day when I come for these meetings, if every half the time, let's say of, half the time, if we keep discussing who's coming, who's not coming, how many are present, how many are not present, how many teams are present, isn't that a colossal waste of time, your time and my time, right? That is a very mundane thing. I mean, who's coming for the sessions, who's not coming for the sessions, how many are prepared. We don't want to waste time on that, right? That's why I also don't like spending so much time in counting, okay, I have got so many people, because I have to assess, I'm doing it. But that's not what I want to discuss in these sessions, right? I want to discuss if there are any unique challenges you're facing. Is this a good role play? Can we learn something from this role play? Whoever is present, right? So that is how we should have our mindset, even in the interviews. Interview is a space where you're getting a one-on-one chance to discuss with the person. You have to excite and make them feel that you are so precious. You're so precious that you need to be there in their company, right? That's how you should make them feel. Okay, so the other question, one was you asked them about the challenges. Yeah, and then the other question was, let me look at this. Work life, yeah, work life balance. Okay, that was an intentional thing. So you're just a fresher starting, right? What do you even know about work and life, work life? So you were saying, can I have a college life in the organization? Is that what you're expecting in the work? area? Not really, right? So don't even, my advice is don't even ask about that question. Ask about that topic, work-life balance. Work-life balance will be when maybe, you work for 10, 15 years or something, and, you're finding it difficult to manage the family and all of that. And you have other interests in life. And
That's what,
right
sir.
now, so, so this
We
is not
just
a,
took that question to tell the students that they're not supposed to have these sorts of questions.
I understood. Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify. And you say, so don't, now there's a lot of talk about work-life balance and all of that. So right now, you're out of college, you're very passionate about working in an organization. So keep your topics and discussion only around that. Can I, there was actually, I think some of the role plays earlier done by the students, they were saying, will I have a work-life balance? And then, yeah, that person was actually going out on some vacations and road trips and all of that. So obviously, what kind of an impression do you give to the institution, the organization, when you ask those questions? All right. So apart from that, I think the first part was okay because there was nothing much I could evaluate. There was no, I don't know anything about Python or whatever. So that is all you asked her to write. She would have written and shown it to you if it is okay. Well and good, but that's all very mundane. I would feel it is mundane. You did not discuss about a specific topic. Where is this, developing, or this whatever she's learned is going to be used in which area the organization is representing, all of that. Okay, so you have any questions, Shweta and Priya, or? Somehow I felt, I had a feeling that you both did this role play because, somehow the time has to be filled, and if there is absolutely no other team, it'll look very bad. So we need to do this role play. Was that the case? No? Okay, fine. Then it is fine. So who else is there? So because I see that there is no other team today. It's already 3:30. So is there any other team that wants to participate today? Is there any other team that wants to participate today? Okay. What about some of the students? Can some of the students who have responded, can they give their thoughts? I don't want to ask you for your feedback, but then what are your thoughts after having seen this role play today and the role plays in the last session from your L2s? What are your thoughts? What are you learning, and what is it that you're understanding? Halima, right? Halima is 7.5 on 10. Can you come on screen, Halima?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what I want to understand from you, Halima, is not, this is not an interview question. I want to understand, what are you learning from these role plays? Is it making any sense to you? Is it adding any
Yes,
value to you?
sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. The first thing what we learned is like how to answer. First thing, sir. Like what are the things which we should keep in mind while going to an interview? Like, of course, about the topic, whatever job role which we are going, we should be knowing complete knowledge about it. First thing, and secondly, we should be knowing what are the area that is the company which is I want to say it like what are the area of interest of the company where a company wants to go, like what are the things company wants to do. We should also be knowing that not we should not only see our work, we should also see what company wants and is needed.
Very good point.
And
Yes.
when I talk about yes, sir. When I talk about interview, yesterday was like, I mean, sorry, Saujana ma'am and Abdullah, it was completely good, which I felt, sir. It was all about the technology. She was talking what she did. Sir was asking what he wants also, sir was asking. And Saujana ma'am was also answering him, as well as she was also showing saying what she did in her projects and all. Today's interview, I felt like Shweta ma'am was asking the questions, she gave answers, but she didn't explain what she actually did. If taken about a project, she didn't say what actually what was the actual work she did in the team. Like it's a IoT, what she did. She developed something, or she did any backend work. She didn't explain detail about what she actually did, but she said, okay, as you mentioned, sir, she was saying about Priya ma'am was saying about general topics. But yeah, yes, sir. And
Okay.
Altaf sir and Tahir sir's interview also, I felt it was good. They were also discussing completely about IoT, cloud, AWS, that is clouds and all, everything. It was discussed, which I felt, okay, now I should also focus on the main topics which I want, as well as the company is focusing on. Mainly, that was the thing which I understood, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Halima. I think you made some good points. So I think you also brought out something very interesting. So while so during this these role plays, I've been talking to you about different things. So I've been talking to you about how you can bring out your passion about that particular area and all of that. So different interviews will have different scenarios. For example, we saw one interview between Altaf and Tahir, where the discussion was about some amount of discussion went around what is this technology going to do, how this technology is going to help the world of different ways, right? I mean, prevention of accidents and this and that. So that's a very nice topic for everybody's interest, and that is actually solving some kind of a real world problem. This technology that he's expert in, that he's an expert in, there is some real world application, and discussion around that is always interesting, right? So it was one type of interview we saw. The second type of interview we saw was between Abhilash and Saujanya, where it was for a very specific role. Abhilash does these interviews regularly, so that's why he was also doing this here. And then he kind of asked her a few questions, and she said, "Yes, I've done this project in this area, and it went on like a to and fro, like a clockwork. It was all going, and it was very good for that particular role, and she's been taken into. Probably, you've offered her, and then she's gotten into that role. Now, my point is, neither should you as freshers, the students, neither should you look over ambitious. You should not look over, sound or look, present yourself as over ambitious. When I say over ambitious, I mean to say you don't have to only talk about the large picture, the big picture, and the world and how the technology is going to change and why you are passionate about it, because the person who's interviewing you might not really be that person might be interviewing you for a specific role, like Abhilash is interviewing Saujanya for a specific role. And there are two things. One is he wants that person, that candidate, to have the technical know-how and the skill set to do that job, whether it is a coding skill or some kind of an analytical skill or whatever that skill is, that he's primarily interested. Along with that, if there is a blend of a person who, or the candidate who is interested in the organizational vision as well. So if there is an interest in that organization's vision as well, then you are a star candidate. Then you are a star candidate, right? Because if you're only competent in that very, that skill set of, coding or analytical skill or development and all of that, you may still be taken in for that role. But in the long term, for you to be successful in your career, you also should know, why do you want to do that coding? Why do you want to do that development? Why do you want to do that, analytical exercise or whatever it is? What kind of a real world problem is all this actually solving? And why is that company in place? I mean, they must be solving some real world problem, right? That is why they're doing all these projects. So that interest you have to demonstrate in your interview. That inclination you have to demonstrate in your interview. There has to be a balance between your, that worldview, the large vision of the organization, your interest in that space, and your core capabilities, your technical skills or your abilities to solve those problems hands-on. Right? You're getting my point? Is this clear? Is this, can someone explain this to me in their own words so that I understand that this is clear, whatever I try to communicate today? Can someone elucidate this? Can someone explain this back to me? Who will do that for me? Nobody. Either you understood this or you did not understand this. Who will explain this point back to me? Abhilash, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to explain this point or you did not understand? Why did you not respond to my call?
I thought
You could have...
that was directly for the students.
No, not only students, L2s also can explain this.
Okay, I mean, from what I could grasp, so any candidate, especially freshers who go in for an interview, they should be well prepared. So they should know, what they are passionate about, and also, on which lines the company actually works. And whenever they respond to any question, they should be, when they should not get over enthusiastic and give out, like say that, okay, I'll turn the entire path of the company overnight. So that kind of unrealistic approach should never be taken, because I mean, because we have seen some candidates, like personally I've seen some candidates who are either freshers or with very limited years of experience, and they say, okay, I'll be able to reduce the project cost by like $1 million, or at least thousands of dollars. So that is extremely unrealistic, because when we ask some follow-up questions and try ask them to explain something, so they'll directly fail doing that, because all this will only come with experience, when we basically work on very huge projects where you get into the architect level and stuffs. So that's where you can actually talk numbers and give some statistics. So yeah,
so you're saying this from your real life experience, not from these sessions, right? You're saying from this. So tell me, Abhilash, so since you have that experience of interviewing and all of that, and since we have the time today, because there aren't people in the role play, I want to make good use of this time, right? So let's have a conversation for the benefit of everybody. So when you are interviewing that candidate, let's say when you are interviewing a candidate, like you did, Sojanya, in your real life, you have a specific need for a specific skill set, let's say some kind of a technology or some kind of a development skill or some other kind of a skill, right? You can name something. Obviously, that is tested in the initial rounds, maybe a written test or something. And now you're also going to check that out a little more, maybe in the interview. You're going to check that out. What else are you looking for in the candidate? Are you not looking for that candidate's interest in that? So let's say Python or some kind of a development thing is there. But along with that, if the candidate brings in a passion for a specific area, let's say your company is into
services.
No, services is fine.
Cloud.
Services in cloud computing or whatever technology, whatever cutting edge today's technology, right? Cloud computing. So would you also like a candidate who's also passionate about cloud computing? I just want to be in that space. I just want to be in that space, and I've learned these tools of development and all that because I love this space, right? So that kind of a candidate is more valuable than a person who's just learned those skill set, like, okay, I have to get a job, I have to get a salary, and I have to somehow pull on my life, right? So isn't that, yeah? So that's how you go. So how will you assess that person's interest in cloud computing, for instance? How will you assess that level of interest?
Okay, so the very first thing that I would look in when it comes to a candidate is, let's say, for example, I'm interviewing for a cloud role, let's say, for example, AWS. So even if that particular candidate doesn't come with AWS background itself, I'll try to ask few questions on generic cloud computing. or if they have any, on-premises cloud or private cloud kind of experience.
Okay.
Because we have seen candidates who come from different field altogether, but they would have gone through some certifications out of their own interest, or got onto YouTube at least, if not, because they not everybody can afford Udemy or other
Absolutely.
online platforms, because
Platforms.
they come at a premium. So because on YouTube, you can literally learn anything for free, because I have seen lots of candidates do this. So they, during the interview, they say that, okay, out of my own interest, so I have learned this, I have got, 12 months of free credit from AWS or Azure. So I have started learning so and so services. So that's where I'll try to, assess them, ask them to explain a bit more on what kind of hands-on, tiny little assignments that they have done. Let's say, for example, spinning up a virtual machine. I mean, anybody can do that. But after doing that, what kind of use cases that they have worked on, or how they could, how they were able to relate it to their current field. So let's say they could be doing that to basically create some automation, or to learn something new. Because I've seen many people who don't come from DevOps practice, but still out of their interest would have gone and learned about some CI/CD pipeline. Even though not entirely, even though if they don't have entire hands-on experience, at least the basic knowledge about what is Jenkins or what is Azure DevOps, stuff like that. So that kind of interest is what I look in for, sir.
Okay, so two things. One is the skill set and the interest in that technology.
Yep.
Wouldn't you also look at their ability to, or their smartness, or their actually smartness to connect these with the organization also? For example, let's say you are representing ABC organization and you're interviewing them. So would you also not like a candidate who's able to also connect all of this with ABC organization, saying that, okay, so you are doing these things and I have seen these things on your maybe website, or I know that you do, and I'm following you, and then I see that you do such interesting stuff in that place, and I am passionate about being in that role with your organization because of these reasons. Would you not like a candidate like that?
Definitely, sir. We definitely do that. But I mean, in real world situation, let's say if I interview like 100 people, only about, like less than 10 people would come with that kind of enthusiasm or interest.
So a very wonderful point. So if there are so less people doing that, why can't these people do this and grab that? It's an opportunity, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't take a lot of time for you to understand what that company does. You have to just go through their website and relate your experience, relate your knowledge with that company. If people are not doing it, then that means it's a gold mine. You have an opportunity to tap and make that extra impact to the interviewer. Yes, you're very right, especially in the fresher space. Not all of, I think 90% of them will not even think about, okay, this, I have to connect it with that organization. They will only be talking about my skill set and, my programming skills and all of that. They are not even thinking beyond that. Why are they getting into that company? For them, company A is equally good as B and C and D and till Z. They could be all, I just need a job.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so now given that there's so much competition, you may not be able to research all the 100 companies that you're applying for, but at least the key ones where you want to apply, know and understand what the company is doing, right? And there is plenty of information about that organization available online. You don't have to do a paid course for that.
Very true, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the three things I thought I wanted to share. Anyone else? Thank you, Abhilash. Anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else who wants to share their thoughts? Saujanya, if you want to share any of your thoughts, or anybody else?
So, sir, as Abhilash mentioned, that is the main criteria. Even I check for the candidates, sir. So, how
you also
enthusiastic
conduct
they are.
interviews? You also conduct interviews?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, what are those things that you checked? And what are the points that when I said these points, do they make sense to you?
Yes, sir, very much. But as Abhilash mentioned, that's the main point, like how enthusiastic they are. Because mainly I hire for freshers, not for the main level. So when first thing what we look for is communication, because since it's outside project, so we have clients for UK and Australia. So first thing what I look for is communication. And I also have a consideration point. That's my perspective, although. So I also have a consideration saying that if the candidate is really good enough to pick it up soon, at least maybe any candidate who gets into an MNC will get a time of 3 months. That's a probationary period. So definitely there will be some set of trainings which will be given in particular. So what I all focus is on, as yesterday when we spoke also, I had put myself into their chairs and spoke about the course which I did. So when you're talking about something, just make sure that you actually did that. Don't just try to act enough that you had performed it well in before. Not that always you can.
So a point on that. So there is no need to act about it because all these students have already undergone this training. They have done some projects. They have gone through this session. You have to brush up your knowledge and go.
Yes, sir.
There is no need to cook up or act out anything that you are not, right? So that is anyway there. So
what my point in this, no, sir? So like, for example, there are 4 members in the team. So maybe they are like pushing up more stuffs on 2 other people so that let them do. But what if the questions come to them saying that what did you actually do? And like some of the roles, as I said, some of the team members who have not performed well, when they try to tell those things, it won't work out sometimes. Maybe they'll get lagged, or the interviewer might personally feel that they have not done anything, but they're trying to act upon. So that shouldn't be the scenario. So that is where I'm trying to focus on each and every, that when I am telling to my students also, that's what I try to tell them. See, however, whether a small part of coding or one part of page has been executed by yourself, but be a master in that, so that even the person who is asking you the questions should get defeated out of it. So that is how your preparation should be. Not that you know everything. When you get into an MNC, they'll definitely train you on multiple things, because there's not only one project you'll be working for your lifetime. It'll be like every 6 months or a year, the projects get changed. So that is what I tell my students also. The more of confidence should be important. Like how there are many challenges which come in. So for example, there might be not your mistake, but you might get blasted just because of others' mistake from a manager, saying that you can't tell it in front of everybody. So there comes a lot of challenges. So main thing is confidence. Whatever it is, you should take up with a smile and give it back like in a proper way. Not
so
that
I have a question. How will they have that confidence? Okay, now you brought up an important point, that they should be confident about what they have done. So how will they have that confidence already? So okay, there are 140 students, let's say, in this batch. All of them have had the opportunity to expose themselves to these topics of cybersecurity, blah blah blah, whatever different areas. How will they feel confident about 1 or 2 of those topics?
Sir, attending mock interviews like this.
No, before that, but even before that,
even before that, like maybe their team presentations, or how they involve with the team members, or how they guide to other people, whatever extra they have found out. For example, we had a student called Vishwa in our batch. So he himself was so enthusiastic to find out something and do out of his own interest, but he never talks out. So that's one thing. He always hides from people, so that he doesn't want to talk, but he has all the skill set to develop that. So that is where, when you try to talk with people, or when you try to teach somebody, maybe you'll talk something out of it, and then you get confidence to talk in front of others.
Even before that, I think the students should very fundamentally even ask themselves, why am I even coming for each of these sessions? Whenever they attend a session, please ask yourself, why am I going to this session? What am I learning from this? You're not coming here to kill 1 hour or 2 hours, not this session, any of the other sessions. And I can understand there are 10 topics. You may not be interested in all 10, right? But pick up 1 of the topics or 2 of the topics that are very exciting for you and be really interested in that. Be genuinely try to develop your interest in that. But if you're not able to do that, then you will always struggle. Then that confidence will never come.
Never come.
It will never come. First of all, communication will be a problem. Secondly, you don't know the topic. Then what will you even speak? So my urge is the student has to understand why they are attending these sessions and take up one topic. Each one of you, whoever are the students, at least pick up one area of interest. There are so many exciting things happening. You are interested in cybersecurity, okay, pick up that and try and learn more about it. You are interested in data, big data, whatever, you learn more about that, right? Don't just go by the herd mentality. I have to learn all of this. Exam is coming. I have to prepare this, and then I have to mug it out. And then, yes, that is also there, given that you have to appear for exams. But please choose at least one or two areas that interest you, and then you can talk about that. Okay. So not to you. I'm talking to the students on behalf of I mean, in the context of this conversation that we have.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, thank you, Saujanya. Who else wants to share anything? Altaf, you want to share anything? You have been an active participant, you and Tahir as well. Would you want to share some of your thoughts around, how they should, what would you think in an interview, what will they be interested in? If you are going, we talked about three things: the skill set, then the passion around that subject, and the third thing is the connection of all of that with the organization that they're appearing for in the interview. Let's say it's a company ABC or company XYZ or whatever. Yeah. If you want to share, you can share. You can switch on your video and speak. Anybody else also? I mean, I see a few more names. There are 21 participants, including centers. Today, comfortably, all the centers have switched off their videos. It's 4 o'clock and gradually they've realized it's just a role play between two people and we can all comfortably, switch off the videos or not even attend. The centers. Earlier, I used to see at least 2 or 3 of them sitting, and in the center, there'll be some 3 or 4 students will be there. Today, none of the centers are visible. Either they have not joined or I don't know. So anyway, who else wants to speak? Who else? Okay, next, can I have a request? Next time, who's going to present? Next session, who's going to present? If not now, I need that communication through the organizing team. Whoever is present now, if they can confirm, it will be good. If not, I will need it from the organizing team to let me know who's going to present next time.
Sir, Ashwin and Afreen have confirmed in the group saying that they'll be
next week, next time, next session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
in the group I've got the message. Sir.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Who else? Which other teams will be presenting next session? If someone has done it and they want to improve it, like Altaf and Tahir, if you want to do another round, I'm okay with that. I want to encourage.
Yes, sir. We can do it on the coming session. Sir.
Yeah,
like
coming session only, I'm saying. Yeah, if you want to prepare and do another round, because someone has lost the opportunity, you grab the opportunity. Someone is not able to, you take that opportunity to do another rehearsal.
But, yeah, correct. But my opinion is like, do you want to go with the same team partner, or is it okay if I?
No. I'm just saying, I have no qualms about it. You can take any other team partner. You can do whatever you want. Any other new topic is
I was
also
just thinking.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be like the same monotonous or something. I want to have one other angle or one other perspective.
All I'm expecting is there is some incorporation of the feedback that we have been discussing. It shouldn't be the same thing repeating again. Then there is no point.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. That's what I was also thinking. We can go.
Okay. All right. So, is there any other? Yeah. Yes, sir.
So me and Abhinash will take up operations round, sir. I mean, third round.
Okay. Yeah, that is also there that we can do. Then we will have a flair of what that kind of a round looks or sounds like.
Yes.
Let's try to give the students also, while we are also interacting and learning things, let's also give the students an opportunity to understand what will happen in a real situation. What are the kind of things they can expect? Otherwise, when they get into that swimming pool, they will not know what to do with the water, right? Okay. All right. Who else? Anyone else wants to say anything? Any questions? Any thoughts? I think next time we will have one more, maybe one session. If again the participation is like this, we'll have to see how we can plan or make better use of the time instead of, doing this. Anyway, evaluation is going on in parallel of the L2s, so that I will be sharing in parallel. So that is a given, but I also want to make it a meaningful interaction between whoever is present for the sessions. So it's already, when I think if you're not having anything, I don't have a choice but to close the session now. Unless you want me to cover anything. You have any thoughts, any questions? You want me to answer anything specific, I can spend some time. Because I came prepared for these sessions. I mean, for these role plays. Is there anything else, any other topic you want to discuss for some time? I can discuss that.
Sir, not a topic, but a question. So
Yeah.
will the next session also be between the same timing, that is 2 p.m. and 5 p.m.?
Let me check. The next session was when this, see, it's a monthly thing.
27th,
So I think the next one is also around the same. I have given the time. 27th from 2 to 5. Yeah, that's the timing that I have given.
Okay, sir.
So just this time, let's do it, and next time onwards, we'll see if we can. But I think timing, we cannot make a big change because not everybody is going to be available all the time in any of these slots. So 2 to 5 is a big slot, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So different people can keep joining. At least now I would have expected someone else to have joined, but they have not. So next one is from 2 to 5.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, all right. What else? Anything else anyone wants to discuss?
Nothing from me, sir, as of now.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you then. I think I will hand it over to the organizing team once again. And they said, I think Shweta and team, they also said that there's someone else who's going to be coming the next session, right? There's another confirmation. So there are at least 2 or 3 more, at least 3 to 4 we can expect these role plays. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm Kavita here.
Yeah, Kavita.
I'll do in the next class, sir, because interviewer part someone else should do.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right. Okay. Then I will hand it over to you. The organizing team, and then I'll call it a day for today. Then. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Unless there is any question, if there is something, please let me know. Otherwise, we can close it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.